Why are we called Negroes? Why are we deaf, dumb, and blind? Why is everybody making progress, yet we seem to be lagging so far behind? Why are we mistreated? Why are we in this condition? Stripped of our name, our language, our culture, our God, and our religion. Here in America, all of our religious training has been gotten by the preacher. He has told us of a heaven way up in the sky that we can't enjoy now, but rather after we die.
And we are live.
Yeah.
We are. I want to first start off in the most holy name of Allah, bearing witness that there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his messenger. I would like to greet you all in a beautiful greeting words of peace in the Arabic language of Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum
Walaikum
salam.
And
salam.
for those of you who do not know what those greeting words mean,
What does it mean,
simply
sister?
means peace be unto you.
Absolutely.
It's a prayer for peace. It's a prayer that we are at peace with ourselves and we are at peace with one another. And with that being said, I am not going to belabor the point because we have a special guest. This guest is going to break down just the paradigm shift of what we need to do, not only in regards to history. We're going to talk about that in a minute. I know that went over a lot of people's head. And then also the cry for our youth. So
Our youth to be taught right, Sister Khalil.
yes, absolutely.
Straight up
So
like
absolutely. So I am going to turn the show over to you, Brother Tony. The floor is yours.
it is a great honor, dear family, in the name of the one God who bears many names. Some know him as Jah, others know him as Jehovah, some know him as Dios, some know him as Bon Dieu, some know him as Olobdumare. Regardless to the name, regardless to whatever we may refer to the Supreme Being, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah. And I bear witness that Muhammad is messenger and servant. I'm thankful to Almighty God Allah for the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. I thank them both for the honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan,
Yes, sir.
our wonderful counselor in our midst. In their divine names, I greet you in peace. Assalamu alaikum, which of course, as Sister Leela just emphasized, means peace be unto you. Welcome to your Thursday night talks, which is spearheaded by the 7th Region Coalition to Help Save Lives. The 7th Region Coalition to Help Save Lives was assembled by our student regional minister here in the 7th region of the Nation of Islam, headquartered in Miami, Florida, comprising of the state of Florida, the Caribbean, Central and South America. We were put together to warn our people about a dangerous inoculation soon after the Criterion message of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, warning our people to safety.
Yes,
so
sir.
that we could get right knowledge about how we can live healthier lives, how we can protect ourselves from falsehood and now live a better qualitative life. That is the reason why the 7th Region Coalition was assembled. If you notice in many of our flyers, in fact, all of our flyers really, you'll see a lighthouse, as we seek to be a lighthouse to guide our people to safe waters so that we do not become casualties in this present war that we
Yes,
are in.
sir.
Beloved family, we are at war. But the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan teaches us that we must be uprooted into the knowledge of the war so we would know how to participate in the war. Teaches us. Okay, we're getting a little echo.
Sorry.
That's all right. Thank you, Brother Mark, for correcting that. So, beloved family, today we are broadcasting through the 9 ministries. And these are 9 ministries towards guiding our people to right knowledge, guiding our people to information that is all meant to save lives. Tonight we are focusing on the Ministry of Education. The Ministry of Education is responsible for the mental and moral development of the members of the society by means of formal instruction in a prescribed manner over a prescribed period of time in a system of learning ranging from preschool through primary through advanced academic levels, culminating in the conferring of academic degrees under the direction of a National Board of Education. In addition to academic instruction, students shall receive teaching and training in the way of righteous conduct, decency, and self-respect, with the goal of making a better nation of people. Beloved family, this includes the idea of nation building, as we are in need of unity among one another in order to build a true educational system for our people for their benefit. With that, I turn it over to Brother Mark, who will be introducing our illustrious guest.
Thank you, Brother Tony. This is truly an honor to have our dear brother tonight. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness there is no God but Allah. Muhammad is his messenger. I greet you in the reading words of peace of Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Wa alaikum salam, sir.
Dr. Baba Amin Ojuwo, formerly known as Stephen D. Richmond. He is a husband, father, renowned spiritual leader, educator, rapper, and advocate for Black empowerment, whose life's work has been dedicated to uplifting the African American community. Raised with a deep reverence for God by his mother, despite not being raised in the church, Baba Amin's spiritual journey has been one of growth and enlightenment. His early exposure to the teachings of the Nation of Islam laid a strong moral foundation, instilling principles of justice, self-reliance, and community service. His exposure to the Baha'i faith later introduced him to the ideals of true universalism, the belief in the oneness of humanity, and the unity of all people under God, sparking his lifelong calling to foster spiritual unity among Black people. This calling came to fruition with the founding of the Temple of New African Unity, an institution that champions spiritual and cultural unity among people of African descent worldwide. Through the temple, Baba Amin has created a space where diverse spiritual paths are respected and unified for collective liberation and empowerment. Baba Amin has been working with youth for over 30 years, beginning with the co-founding of the Rites of Passage program in Butler Housing in 1992. His commitment to youth empowerment continued through his work with several youth-serving organizations, including the Boys and Girls Club, Tarrant County Juvenile Services, and Workforce Solutions of Tarrant County. In 2010, feeling a divine calling to create his own educational programs, Baba Amin co-founded the Uhuru Academy with his wife, Nkoyo, to provide an African-centered educational solution that nurtures and empowers Black youth. Beyond his spiritual leadership, Baba Amin is also a passionate educator, committed to shaping the next generation of Black leaders. As the co-founder of the Uhuru Academy, he has spent the last 15 years as a private educator, working to develop an African-centered curriculum that emphasizes vision development and collective empowerment. He is a speaker, podcaster, and rapper who advocates for a vision of education that centers the needs and cultural experiences of Black youth. His work spans across schools, communities, and global diasporas, offering professional development for educators and building educational models that focus on personal growth and cultural pride. Baba Amin's work as a rapper, producer, and hip-hop activist is also central to his mission of empowerment, using music as a tool for social change. He speaks to the struggles, the triumphs, and resilience of Black people. His music, which serves as an anthem of resistance, offers a platform for all who listen to embrace their power, heritage, and responsibility in shaping a future rooted in justice and unity. Through his activism in the hip-hop community, Baba Amin continues to be a powerful voice for Black empowerment, using his art to inspire action, reflection, and transformation. He is also the author of several impactful books, including 5 Tips for Black Homeschooling Parents, Black is Still Beautiful, and Vision Development in the Classroom. These works reflect his commitment to empowering Black families and educators through practical strategies and African-centered approaches to learning. His writings provide valuable insights into homeschooling, cultural pride, and the vision development model he has pioneered, all while uplifting Black youth and families in their educational journeys. In addition, Baba Amin has been instrumental in community-driven initiatives such as the UACI STEM Camp, which seeks to bridge the gap in STEM education for Black youth, and the Operation Reconnect program, which provides alternative educational pathways for students who have fallen through the cracks of traditional schooling systems. Baba Amin's life's work is rooted in his firm belief that true liberation for Black people is not only economic and political, but deeply spiritual. Through his tireless work, he continues to inspire others to embrace their power and place in the world, aligning spiritual unity with community-driven action for lasting change. And you can contact Dr. Baba Amin at babaAmin@uhuruacademy.com or via phone at 628-233-505. Missing the last number. But let us bring to our Thursday night talks our dear brother, Dr. Baba Amin.
Give thanks.
Great and mighty.
I'll give out that last number to a lucky winner.
Yeah. You're gonna have
That'll be the big reveal in the podcast. What's the last number in Baba Amin's phone number? Thank you, brother.
Yes.
Give thanks to the Creator and the ancestors for such a beautiful introduction. The bio, I was looking around, I was looking for Baba Amin. Where this brother?
Where you be at?
Yeah, Baba, they want you, but no. It feels different when it's read out loud. And
yes, sir.
So give thanks, brother, and my beautiful sisters. It's an honor to be here today.
Praise be to Allah. The honor is shared tremendously. Reflection of you, beloved.
We're divine beings having this beautiful spiritual experience, which is lays the base to everything that we do, including education. When we see our beautiful children and they're wilding out, we know that they're wilding out because of the conditions of the world. And we have to put the spiritual up front to help steer them in the right direction.
Absolutely.
On that note, beloved brother, Dr. Baba
Yes.
Amin. I'm going to use all your titles, brother. Let's talk a little bit about the Uhuru Academy.
Absolutely.
The name Uhuru itself means liberation or freedom in Swahili.
Yes.
How did the vision of this institution, the Uhuru Academy, come about, and how did its name relate to its goals and its objectives?
I say, the Uhuru Academy is a culmination of work. I have to give praise, of course, to the creator, but also give praise to some of the beautiful Black people that were responsible for my development as a young man. Coming home after 1 year of college at Wiley, I came home because folks done went crazy in my neighborhood. We got Crips and Bloods and things happening, and I wanted to be a part of that. And I'd taken a Black Studies class, so shout out to Dr. AJ Stovall, Wiley College around 1991, way before y'all time. I'm just saying, but 1991, Wiley College. Coming home with a mindset, I was exposed to Malcolm X for the first time in that course. I was exposed to Carter G. Woodson's Miseducation of the Negro in that course, and I ended the year giving a commencement speech at the awards day as a freshman on academic scholarship, and I gave a speech called "Why Didn't I Learn This Sooner?" And I just went off on school. Why am I 18 and I'm just now learning about myself? And I'm like, I graduated number 2 in my class, and I'm here on an academic scholarship taking 3 math classes at one time, and people telling me I can get out the hood and all this kind of stuff, but ain't nobody tell me who I was and where I came from. And I'm standing here with a mentality that I'm about to get what I need to get, find me the nearest light-skinned wife, have me some babies with some good hair, and get me a house and a white picket fence and live happily ever after as an electrical engineer. That was gonna mean something. That's gonna put me in the Black history books. I was gonna be the first Negro somewhere.
Right.
But after studying just a little bit, just about studying Carter G. Woodson and Malcolm and Anthony Browder and others while I was there, and then hearing my first Dr. Khaled lecture.
I wonder which one is that one.
The goddamn white man.
You already had a few. Go ahead.
No wonder you left college.
No
wonder you left college.
Title. If you listen to the lecture, Dr. Khaled would break down how that was not vulgar at all.
Right, exactly.
And so just being exposed to that, I came home on fire. And I actually left school and I came home and I got involved in the gang truce process here at home. And that's what kind of launched and sparked it. The Rites of Passage program you mentioned in Butler Housing was the precursor to the Uhuru Academy. I have to shout out to my JEG now, Ricky Clark, who actually founded that program and allowed a young 18-year-old who was on fire with the knowledge to come in and be a part of it. But then the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, my brother Will X, who took me under his wing and taught me that that I was the maker, the owner, the cream of the planet Earth, the God of the universe, and taught me how to go earn money for myself. He told me every no got me closer to a yes. Taught me how to go door to door and knock on doors and sell kente ribbons and to do for self, but most importantly, he taught me how to have a relationship with God, how to have a relationship with Allah, how to pray, how to put God first, so I don't put my name first, so I don't think it's me, right?
Come on, brother, come on.
This foundation was laid early, listening to my Muslim brother say all praise is due to Allah, to keep that off of their pride, right? Like, no, push that off. We're gonna give the praise where praise is due. And so that was my foundation, right? That was my foundation in teaching, and then learning, discovering Pan-Africanism and discovering the beauty of ancient African civilizations, African cultures, because I know I look very West African with this big old nose and these big old lips. So you ain't gotta ask me where my folk came from, right? So fall in love with that, and then really discovering teaching and loving young people and loving educating young people and sparking young people. My first classroom was in the middle of Butler Housing with young brothers that was in there just taking a break from the block. You know what I'm saying? or children that were in there that were running from what was going on at the house, but they didn't have to be there. So we had to learn how to teach young people who wasn't forced to be in our presence. And from the very beginning, culture was our tool. Whether it was teaching African history, whether it was through performance and hip hop and that sort of thing, teaching that culture was always our tool. So the Uhuru Academy was founded on that foundation, because I took that foundation wherever I went up until 2010 when we founded the Uhuru Academy. I just got tired of putting band-aids on bullet wounds.
Come on.
There was no money for grassroots programs. The big organizations were sucking all that stuff up. You know, every time they give grassroots programs something, as far as the government, you got a 3 to 5 year window before they snatch it back. Right. And so, but again, from that early teaching, if we God, we can manifest, we can create whatever it is that we need to create. So my wife and I discussed it, and at this time, you know, we were both working jobs, and I came to her and I told her what was on my heart, that I have to do something. I don't care if it's under a tree, you know, it's on my heart to do this school, to do this program. And she was like, let's go, you know, and
Black Queen.
There we started doing Uhuru camps. We were partnered with local bookstores and do Uhuru camps, Black History camps, and we chose Uhuru because Uhuru means freedom. And your education should facilitate that. When our ancestors got off of the plantation, right, they knew two things had to get got: land and education.
Come on, brother.
Education is supposed to facilitate your freedom. But if you read Dr. Carter G. Woodson's, I know it's Black History Month, but if you read, and that's great because he created Negro History Week. But when he wrote the education of the Negro and then the miseducation of the Negro, those are jewels. That when I hear his name, I think those books. I don't even think Black History Month first.
Right.
The miseducation of the Negro, he warned us how education could enslave you or re-enslave you or cause you to enslave yourself. He warned about that in the miseducation. Education is important. So we wanted a school that says this education builds freedom. But what is freedom? It's not doing what you want to do. Freedom is responsibility. Freedom is being willing to do whatever it takes to maintain your sovereignty, to learn the skills necessary. Can you grow your own food? Can you build your own house? But more than the external stuff, freedom is internal.
That's right.
I mean, the freedom to return to our own and live a true natural way of life, going back to our very nature.
And freedom is not free.
It's not free.
No, we got
to
we're at war.
You know, and it's more valuable than any currency.
That's right.
Right.
That's
and think about when our ancestors were released from the plantation, they said, "You free." Everybody shouted. But then sooner or later, somebody started thinking, hold up, what we do next?
Well, right. What does that mean?
What does that mean? Where we going? Oh, you can leave. The gate is open.
Right.
Leave? What?
They used to leave the gate open when we was enslaved and we didn't leave in.
Yeah. All this time you told me every time if I decided to leave the plantation, I'll go get killed or something.
Right. So I'm afraid to leave the plantation. Master been leaving the gate open for 50 years. Ain't nobody walked out.
Right.
So now y'all telling us to walk out. No, we gonna work out a deal. And many of our ancestors did. We're gonna work out a deal. We're gonna do slavery by another name. We just not gonna call it slavery. We're gonna call it sharecropping.
That's right.
You know, but it'll just be slavery by another name, because this is what I know. This is what I'm used to. And even though I hate it, I have not been prepared to walk out that gate. Now, many of us didn't care what was on the other side of the gate.
Right. We just go.
You know, as long any place is better than here, and we're gonna take our chance. But you're always gonna have a number that say, I don't want to walk out the gate.
Right.
Even those of us who do, we still need direction.
That's right.
And we've had enough examples in our history now to where we should be able to write a curriculum that brings about, facilitates, and maintains true freedom, because we've had examples.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah, brother. I mean, wow.
Dr. By the way, Dr. Mahat, the great Dr. Mahat,
Hey, that's
joining
awesome
us.
right there.
Walaikum salam.
Wonderful.
We bring you back soon,
We
Dr.
miss
Mahat.
you.
You ain't getting away from us. Go ahead, Brother Mark.
Yes, that's one of the great partnerships that we have is
That's
with
right.
Dr.
Beautiful.
Mayat and her Conscious Ingenuity program.
Come on.
We developed and created the UACI STEM Camp together.
Mm.
We're gonna talk about that in just a moment.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Brother Mark.
Dear brother, I mean, this is just wonderful. And the idea of African-centered education is definitely something that you would think we all could agree with, particularly those of us that are original people, Black people. But I got a question for you about some others that may not agree.
I say.
Why do you think some of our people feel uncomfortable with the idea of African-centered education? What is at the root of this discomfort of these, that somehow you would think that they would embrace it because it's about them, but still in 2026, some of our people seem to be uncomfortable with the idea, concept of African-centered education, or that you're being in some way reverse racist or whatever. Could you speak to why they are discomforted and what's at the root of that?
Absolutely. And again, I've been an African-centered educator for over 30 years, so I've had those conversations. There are understandable reasons why people will be apprehensive when they hear African-centered education. Number one, your idea of African-centered education is probably going to be very closely related to your idea of Africa. And your idea of being African or not being African, and then what's your definition of being African? I remember when I met Will Muhammad, I said, "Man, you a Muslim?" And he looked at me and say, "What's a Muslim?"
I got to clear the word.
I said, "Man, look, you got the tie on and stuff, and y'all don't eat pork. And why you asking me what a Muslim is?" And he was like, I don't know if I'm what your definition of a Muslim is.
Come on, man. Great point.
Right. And so that taught me when I say African-centered education, it's like, oh, I ain't like that. I don't get defensive about it. I know that's based on your definition of what African is.
Right.
We may not share the same definition. Right. And so when we say African-centered education, we simply mean education is centered, an education journey that's centered around people of African descent. Some people don't like to use the term African. That's fine. Say Akibulonian. That's okay. Say any other term you want to use. You want to be melanated. What do you want to be? Right. But you're talking about us. Quit playing.
Right.
You're talking about us, and understanding that Africa is our root. And everything we went from there is a branch on that tree, right? And then so it's also about that cultural unity that we all have. Some of us are going to be Muslim. Some of us are going to be Rasta. Some of us are going to practice Ifa. Some of us ain't going to practice anything. Some of us just going to be hood smarter or whatever. But there's still cultural connectivity there that goes back to Africa, that goes back to whatever that original land base was. Even if you call it Asia, y'all know what I'm talking about, right? And so African-centered education is about that. And the beauty of that story is that it's not a monolithic story. We are the most diverse people on the planet. Our ancestors had adventures and they saw the world before anybody else saw the world. They called themselves new names. They developed new languages. They civilized the planet. So yeah, they ended up saying they're this, and this. And what we have a problem doing is getting past what our ancestors created to unite us and beautify the world. We've allowed the enemy to cause us to turn those differences around and attack each other and fear each other. So that's what African-centered education is really. I hope I'm not being too long-winded.
No. You're right on point.
That's what African-centered education is all about. And so when people have a problem with it, it's usually because of the semantics, not because of the substance of what it really is. So I would just encourage people to dig deeper into the substance, ask questions, challenge African-centered educators. What are you talking about? What do you mean by that, right? Is this a safe space? Our first ever student at the Uhuru Academy, right, was a member of the Nation of Islam. Shout out to Steve and Tamiko Muhammad, who enrolled Rahmani Muhammad at 8 years old into the Uhuru Academy. He is forever the first pharaoh, forever the first Uhuru Academy student, right? And so I give praise to the Creator that those were our first students. When we started, people like, oh, all the RBG cheering coming. It's going to be a Pan-African school. And I told the Pan-Africans in Dallas, we was opening up a school. They was like, no, my child is in Magnet. Okay, all right,
Okay, Mag.
Right? But Stephen Tamiko Muhammad, because I've been tutoring Rahmani, they enrolled him. They withdrew him from public school and enrolled him in the Uhuru Academy. And that's what got us started. The Uhuru Academy has always been what I call an African-centered universalist institution. We're African-centered in scope, but we are universal. All of y'all can come. You got this on you? Come on. You a Christian? Come on. We just can't bring white Jesus with you, but you can come. All our Jesus look like us in our school, right? Yeah. But bring Allah, please. Bring Jah Rastafari. We've had Moors in Temple. We've had Black Hebrew Israelite, not Temple, but in the Uhuru Academy, Temple too. But we've had Black Hebrew Israelites in the Uhuru Academy, right? We all can agree that we want our children to be strong in who they are. So if you're a Muslim when you come to our school, you're a Muslim at our school. If you're an Israelite, you're a Hebrew Israelite at our school, everybody gonna learn what everybody believe in. So y'all won't be as scared of each other as we are now.
Praises be to Allah.
Excellent. I like that. Thank you, brother.
we absolutely need unity, brother Baba. I mean, and like, and even in going, I taught and I still teach at Diamond Mines Transformational Leadership Academy here in Miami. And I remember there was one parent that was complaining, like, why are they learning about the Greeks in this class? I said, well, what are they learning about the Greeks? The ancient Kemites, the Egyptians, what the enemy call Egyptians, when taught them civilization. Absolutely. That was the base. And like when the parent was listening, oh, we need to know about every culture and every civilization on the planet, but we need to be taught in a way where we can see ourselves and our children could see us. Like the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has taught us that when you take a picture of a room, who's the first one that you're looking for in that picture?
Yourself.
You're looking for yourself. So when it comes down to valuable, invaluable components like STEM, the Uhuru Academy has a strong STEM component, of course, with the wonderful work of Dr. Mahat, as was mentioned earlier. How is it important not just to teach these subjects, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, but to show that we are the authors and originators of these disciplines? And can you give us some examples?
Absolutely. It's important that our children learn that, because when you take ownership in what you learn, you perform better.
Yes, that is true.
And we have to understand, that even our spirituality is scientific.
Yes.
Right. And so because we've been miseducated into fearing math, fearing science, fearing technology, or looking at technology like it's magic, like we think the cloud is an actual cloud. Like where does that come from? Where does the internet come from? Treating things like entities that can't be recreated or destroyed, right? And so we have to understand that the foundation of everything, those first people who the Creator put on the planet, they had to master science in order to survive.
That's right.
They had to be scientists. In our school, we always ask our children, who were our original ancestors? They say they were the first scientists.
That's right.
Because they developed systems of knowledge based on observing what? Nature. We teach them what is math. They say math is a scientific tool created by African people for the purpose of studying nature. That's it. That's what math is. That's how we study nature, because there's balance and patterns in the universe, all
Beautiful.
around us, in our environment. And if you don't learn that balance, you're not going to survive.
Mm.
But our ancestors had the earliest and greatest understanding of that language, right? And so when you lead with a foundation like that,
Mhm.
I can do mad because I am mad.
Mm.
There you go. There you
Come
go.
on.
There you go.
So I love talking to young brothers, and I'm like, man, the first black male superstar was not an athlete.
Come on.
Well, he might have been athletic, but that's not what we know about him.
Right.
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 But the oldest black man we know of in history, you know what I'm saying, as far as archaeological evidence, is Imhotep.
Imhotep.
And Imhotep, his name means he who comes in peace. Can you imagine the way they talk about us today? Like I talk to my young brothers like that, like you know, tell them, like you're supposed to be violent, but the first brother we know about, his name meant he who comes in peace.
Peace.
Right.
And he
And we
did
talking
settle
about
peace.
him 4,500 years later.
Right.
We ain't gonna be talking about old boy that got shot down the street 5,000 years from now.
Not even 5 minutes,
But
because somebody else gonna get shot.
or somebody else. But the brother we remember is
Right.
the one who name meant he who comes in peace, and he was
Right.
a scientist, an architect, a
Right.
doctor, a healer.
Genius.
Come on, how do you not lead every
Come on,
black
man.
nation, every black classroom with that?
Right.
Come on, man.
And then when they say, "Well, you just talking about the man," well, you don't think he had a mama?
Right. Come
Okay.
on.
You don't even think he had an auntie that sat him there and said, "Boy, sit down there and count them rocks." Black folk been black folk for over 5,000. We've been black folk for a long time.
Oh, wow.
Beginning of time, beloved. Come on.
So if the society produced that genius, what was the society like?
Beautiful.
What was the
Beautiful.
village like? And so that's the foundation that we stand on in African-centered education. How do you take this truth and take these stories and use them as a launch pad for our children to walk into that classroom and walk out of that classroom with a different kind of confidence?
Wow.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Sweet, sweet, sweet.
I want to highlight your book.
Mhm.
And I did order it, by the way.
Oh,
In the overview of your book, Vision Development in Education, a guide to empowering high school students, you mentioned that in today's fast-paced world, students who graduate high school without a clear plan face specific challenges. Research showed that only 40% of high school students graduate without post-secondary plans pursuing higher education or vocational training within 2 years. Traditional education often fails to equip students with the tools they need to narrate life complexities. Can you expound on this statistic? And wow, because right now I want you to expound on it, but I also want us to really dig deep in our souls in regards to how we can change the narrative of this reality.
When our ancestors began building schools during the Reconstruction era after the war, there was clear purpose. The clear purpose was land. The clear purpose was to get that education so we can lift the next generation up further. We were turning out soil testers and we were turning out tradesmen and tradeswomen. And the goal was to build communities, you know, like in Boley, Oklahoma, like in Tulsa, Oklahoma, like in Rosewood, that sort of thing. So there was a purpose. Well, then there was a dumbing down of America in general.
Yes, sir.
Coming into modern times.
Yes.
And in that dumbing down, particularly in our community, you started seeing things like the trades disappear.
Yes.
In public schools. You started seeing home economics disappear, right? Then you start seeing a premium on state standardized testing.
Yes.
And then they attach the money to the test.
Right.
Right. So they're basically saying, Only thing we want your children to learn is this rudimentary basic education right here.
Right.
Just pass this test, turn you out, but there's no real planning. Now you had your career counselor down the hall,
Right.
but that's for the willing. It's not
Strong will.
mandatory.
Right. Exactly.
That's for the willing.
Right.
Right. For the most part, you was given one Martin Luther King Jr. speech, I have a dream, and told that's all you needed to have was a diploma and a dream.
That's it.
I bear witness.
And turned her into somebody that just take notes and be the monitor at the on the field trips.
right.
Black history being reduced to Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks,
Right.
maybe Harriet Tubman, Frederick Douglass.
Right.
Maybe those, right? Maybe maybe those, but you're not getting Garvey. You definitely gonna learn about the most honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Oh no!
Right? And until Spike Lee put out the movie, you weren't gonna learn nothing about Malcolm, and
Right.
you still barely learn anything about him, right?
Right.
So take that out, right? People got to remember when the 80s came, when Ronald Reagan became president, he was mad at the Black Panther Party because they embarrassed him the whole time he was governor in California. One thing the United States understood was that we have to prevent, and they say it in COINTELPRO, prevent the rise of a Black Messiah. Well, how do you do that? You take all the messiahs out of the curriculum.
That's it. That's it.
Right. So you have this dumbing down, right? And so now we have students, they'll graduate. I have a diploma, right? Right. And I got accepted into college. And we treat being accepted into college as if now I know I have to go to college. But being accepted only means that you made a good enough grades and maybe SAT scores where they will take you. But a college will take you whether you have a plan or not. They just want you to have financial aid. Now, you say, okay, now I'm going to college. And mama proud, my baby going to college. Nobody's stopping to say, what you going to do there?
Right.
How is that going to be? Is that related to your goal? What is your goal?
What
you
is
want to
your
go
goal?
into? I remember one time baby say, I said, what you want to go into? Computers. Okay.
Okay.
Hardware, software. Let's go.
Engineering.
Where we want to go with they have this, I don't know. I just like computers.
Right.
Right.
But I mean, just
go ahead. Yes.
With that, if I may, beloved, it's just to prick the brains of my students. It's like, where are you going to take this? Like, oh, I like this. Well, are you thinking about starting up your own company and starting something to build your own car? I just like cars. Well, do you want to build your own car? And then a spark comes into their mind, like, I never thought about that.
Right.
Well, what about computers? What about building your own computer? I never thought about that. And it's just like with everything.
Exactly. And so in relationship to that statistic and that issue, right? Our children graduating without that plan, what does it lead to? It leads to many going to college for one semester and dropping out.
Right.
And already in debt, in student loan debt, right?
Right.
And so they lack, or many being underemployed, underutilized. Little girl at Walmart, she was always an A and B student, but she just didn't know exactly where she wanted to go. Or the B student who's talking, I'm not on a roll, I can't bounce a basketball, I can't throw a football. What is there for me? Right. And so now you now, especially today, when you have a generation, there's so many distractions out here. Really, I can say, hey, all I need is enough money to keep my phone on and have some internet and a place to lay my head, maybe a roommate or something. And we can all sit up and watch screens and play games, go to work, come home, watch screens and play games, go to work. Go. So okay, we're living, but is that living?
Right.
Come on.
But is that really living? Are you really a phlebotomist? Are you really a pharmacist? Are you really a truck driver?
Right.
They may never get in a truck because you wasn't steered that way. It wasn't built into you. Was studying for a test that doesn't teach you anything about yourself for 12 years.
12 years.
And then passing the test becomes like the end all be all.
Right. At the Uhuru Academy, you can't graduate without a life plan.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah, your grades look nice. Where's your plan? You're not graduating without a plan.
Come on, man.
Our juniors and seniors work on their life plan like a class.
Beautiful.
Life.
And
Beautiful.
on your life plan, you have to talk about what you're going to do professionally and how you're going to get there. Not just the what, I need the how.
Right.
The
Right.
education and how you're going to get to know which school. How much does it cost? How you going to pay for it? What do you need to
Right.
major in? How many hours do you have to get? If you can't answer that, you ain't ready.
Right.
But not only that, what's your spiritual plan?
Beautiful.
What's your
Beautiful.
spiritual plan? How are you going to keep yourself grounded spiritually and culturally? What's your physical plan? How are you going to take care of your health? What you going to be eating? And so you have to do that. And then you have to present that plan in front of your family and me and anybody in the community that you want to invite. We have a Zoom meeting or in-person meeting. And you have to get up and you have to present your plan. And you got to present it with confidence. Don't be reading off them slides.
I love it.
Beautiful.
Right?
Beautiful.
And then you
I
have
love
to
it.
ask the village if we accept your plan. Because what you do impacts what?
Us.
Us collectively.
We're about to send you out in the world representing us.
Us. That's right. Beautiful.
And so once the community say yes, your circle, because now mama crying and ain't like, ooh, I'm so proud of my baby. Uncle, I can't believe I thought that boy wasn't gonna do nothing with it. So now everybody's sitting around giving you praise, like you looking like, man, Uncle Derek ain't said he was proud of me ever in my life.
Right. Right. He don't even talk.
You buying into your plan because you doing like I was doing. Y'all brought me on the podcast. Who was that? Everybody's going crazy, right? And so now, then we both say yes on your plan. Guess what? You graduate. But what happened doing your vision plan? Uncle say, man, you go to school. I got a car for you.
Beautiful.
But I mean,
know,
that's like taking the concept of a doctoral dissertation or master's thesis to the next level. What are you going to do with this?
What to do? And
You
don't
know-
have to come up with it by yourself. Your
Exactly.
education is facilitating that. You're exploring, you're matching your personality with career types and matching your interests. And how do you turn your interests into revenue and all that? So you're getting coached to do that. And that's your primary education.
Right. And you know, the beautiful thing, you know, you mentioned that, and I, like I said, I love the concept of village. I love the concept of, you know, the deans, you know, who deems that it's necessary for you to accomplish this and the means of how you can. I was just talking to my my daughter, she's in 6th grade. And I was talking to her while she was in 5th grade. You know, I said, I would love for you to attend college with a purpose. And she said, well, I was going to attend college anyway. I said, but with a purpose.
Sure.
I mean, I told her, I said, you know, she go and come in my office and she look at the degrees. And I say, yeah, but my degrees was not purpose driven. It was people driven. People told me to go to college. So they assume that if I go to college, I can live this American dream. But my dream and America's dream was two different dreams. It was more so like a nightmare in this case. And what happened is when I told her, I said, when you go to college, you have to also know where you're going and why. So I said, when you were in my womb, I wanted you to be a freedom fighter. Sometimes freedom fighters look like lawyers. So she was like, you know what, Mom? I don't know why I was, you know, in 2nd grade and I used to tell my teachers that I wanted to be a lawyer. I didn't even know what that means because I fed that to her in my womb. So now she has already picked out her college. She wants to go somewhere in Texas. She's going to go to a Black college. And she's already made out a plan. She didn't even picked out the house. If the house is still there, she already was like, this is the house I'm going to be in. This is, you know. So I encourage it that, you know, even though we might not be teaching this in our households, you have a beautiful academy that you can pour into and start that seed that it will grow into a beautiful foundation and our future is secure with that seed. Do you have classes that you do online, or is it more so face-to-face classes at your
Well,
academy?
we have our UA Online Academy,
Okay. Okay.
and it's kindergarten through 12th grade.
Okay.
And so yes, we do have that, and we have part-time students, full-time students. We have students all over the country,
Okay.
and in Africa,
Beautiful.
and it's really cool. It's a really cool program. I still consider it to be. Well, I still consider Uhuru Academy at 15 years old that we're still piloting it. Like, you don't build a school, you grow a school.
Right.
Mm.
Right.
We're still growing. Our growth
Kinda like
we're not what we're going to be 100 years from now.
Right.
Right.
Kinda
And
like you're building the plane as you're flying it.
I say absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. But yeah, so we have our online program. We've been online since 2015. So we didn't go online because of COVID. We went online because we saw that's where education was going.
There you go.
More people to have access to African-centered education. So it was logical for us to go online. And I also say that to say we know what we're doing.
Great,
online.
great forecast.
Yeah,
Great
yeah,
forecast.
Exactly. It wasn't an emergency. We're trained in this, right? And
Right.
so we do have the online academy, but we also have a beautiful partnership here in Columbia, South Carolina, where my family and I have been living actually on campus since 2019 with Uhuru Academy, South Carolina, or UASC International Learning Center, which was founded by the Washington family in 2014. I actually trained them in the Uhuru Academy model. So they were the first Uhuru Academy outside of the Uhuru Academy, which is really cool. So we're a school system now. We're not just a school. And so they're in their 11th year. And this is a campus program on Black-owned land right here in Hopkins, South Carolina, right outside of Columbia. We have a USDA recognized farm on the campus. We have a hoop house on the campus, pavilion. Our children go from farm to plate. We have a vegan lunch every day.
On the plate.
They're learning how to grow food. They're learning how to forage. My youngest babies go there, and they'll take me out in the woods because we're in the country, and they'll take me out in the woods and say, "Baba, you can eat that. That's a such and such. You can eat that." They showing me. I come out one time, I look like my son was eating grass. I'm like, "Boy, get that grass out your mouth." But he was like, "This is wood sorrel, and it's good for your liver." And we ain't gonna never go hungry. My baby, you can eat. Okay, so that's UASC International, and people can go check that out at uascinternational.org. And if you're in the Columbia, South Carolina area, we are enrolling at UASC as well. And so that's the campus program we have there. We also work with the Prince family in Houston on the Prince Circle of Legends Academy, run by Ashley Prince, and they've been focusing a lot on providing education opportunities for youngsters who are in the creative space, who are YouTubers and that sort of thing, that have gained traction. A lot of them, when they get popular on YouTube, they have to leave school because of the popularity can create danger for them, right?
Of course.
Yes, and also putting them in a space to gear them in the right direction as far as the content that they're going to create. So we work with her as well. Shout out to Village Life Academy, is also another school that we mentor out in Broward County, Florida.
Yes, sir.
Sister Brandy. And a special birthday shout out, heavenly birthday shout out to Mama Cheryl Irvin, who was the founder of the new Akibalan STEM Learning Center in Broward County. She ran that school for 10 years, and she passed a couple of years ago of cancer. But this was a sister that really poured her heart into African-centered education.
We're very, very familiar with that school. The founder came in and spoke at our mosque. Our student regional minister, Student Minister Patrick Muhammad, spoke with him in several panels in the community. So no, we love it when our people are seeking to do for self and teach our own on that level.
I say. Yeah. We worked together on developing some reading curriculum and things like that over the years. And she was a great friend to the Uhuru Academy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, beloved brother. You had a question, Sister Kalila?
Oh, no.
Okay. I hope I answered your question too.
You did. You absolutely did.
Yeah. So we do have online classes, and have class will travel, right? And it's supply demand, and we'll create a class in a minute. If somebody say, "Bob, let's start a Saturday school," that's what we're gonna do, right? But people can go to uhuruacademy.org and check out our schedule and check out what we have to offer.
Yes, sir.
Praises be to Allah. Thank you, sir.
Well, beloved brother, we're going to be we're taking it back to the concept and idea of this program itself. All of this is focused on the concept and idea of this program.
Yes.
Because we're in the fight to teach our children, our youth, the true history of our people, which is so vital. When it comes down to the teaching of our true history, though, as a people, why is it important not to limit our experience to America? I know you hit on that a bit already,
Right.
but why is it important not to limit it to America? Some of us nowadays, we think that we should just focus on our experience in America, and we call ourselves by certain names, which I'm not even going to even mention right now. But why is it important that we not just limit it to our experience here?
Because we were not created here. No. This is not where our story begins. We didn't become who we are because of slavery or because of the Ma'afa. The Ma'afa, this period of slavery and colonialism, is just a commercial break in our history, which is reason number 2. Our story, you're leaving out 90% of the story when you start here, right? And so we can't define ourselves in it. Plus, I will never have my origin be based on, right, someone else's definition of who I am.
That's right.
I didn't come here. My ancestors didn't come here to be an American. Our ancestors were brought here and made into second-class citizens in America. And until you can prove to me that that's been eradicated, that's what we still are.
Right.
And so when we talk about just our history here, now we have a glorious history here. Matter of fact, it should be scripture. If somebody wrote a new Bible, our story here should be in it.
That's right.
Harriet Tubman deserves a chapter.
Right.
Anytime you're a little bit with narcolepsy, that's carrying toting pistols and sneaking on plantations and sneaking other people off, and you make it, God got to be involved.
Right.
Yes, sir.
If you can survive a 150-day trip in the holds of a ship, and I was walking some young people through the International African American Museum yesterday in Charlotte, and I asked them, I was like, have y'all ever seen a slave ship? They're like, no. And I showed them the diagram, and I said, can you imagine living like that for 150 straight days?
My God.
I said, but somebody did. And it could be somebody connected to you. Now, you might come from somebody indigenous to this land, but for those of us who had a relative on one of them boats, whatever perseverance that was in them is also in us.
That's right.
That's how tough you really are, right? But imagine going through that. And then imagine where you had to come from to be strong enough to go through that. What type of society produces men and women strong enough to be chained together for 150 days in the hull of a wooden ship and survive? There have been populations in world history, like in Tasmania, for example, where the people were kidnapped and forced to assimilate, and they all died off. They stopped reproducing and everything.
My God.
We didn't.
Wow.
Not only did we not stop reproducing, we continued to produce culture, and we brought knowledge and science over here. We taught these folks how to plant rice. We brought rice over here. We brought indigo over here. We brought sciences over. So after all of that, you still got a trade.
Our people from Angola, brother. I mean, come on.
Come on. So yeah, you can't start it here because it don't start here. You're taking away from the sauce. You're taking away from the greatness that we've manifested here because the United States flag didn't make us great. They didn't sign the 13th Amendment and all of a sudden we could count. Ooh, I'm an engineer now.
No, they saw our greatness and they wanted to extract from that greatness. And erasing our minds so that we can serve their purpose.
And for those who believe that many of us were here already, that's cool. Write that story.
Right.
Y'all, we're not all the same. That's the beauty in our story. So I'm not arguing over whether or not you this or that, because you probably is. You might be that. Black folk been everything. We everything now. I go out, see black people with pink hair, black people with purple hair. We still be everything.
Right.
We ain't never been the same thing. So anybody who thinks black unity means all of us being the same thing, that's not what it is.
That's right.
That's all of us being our divine selves and being so divine that we can work with each other in spite of our differences. Matter of fact, we can turn our differences into our strengths.
That's right.
Right.
But you can't do that. You lose it if you start your story right here. No. You lose too much context.
Right.
That's right. That's right.
Brother Tony, can you share some questions in the chat?
Sister LaShawn, Sister LaShawn has she had like a comment question earlier, and then she tried to correct it. Like, let me try to remix something that she said here. Sister LaShawn. All right. So it says here, what's the income of I think she was like she was just reflecting on something that Baba Amin was mentioning. What's the income of today's graduation when they are now having way they could be? I guess like she's questioning. Okay, yeah, they're graduating, but what's their income level looking like?
The graduates,
right? And then she said over here that part of her question didn't come out right. I can see that it didn't come out right. I guess you were like speaking into the phone, Sister LaShawn. But just saying how they got the very challenge students blending with the regular children, gifted children in the classroom now. Yeah, they have them doing that, and they have teachers doing that. I experienced that in the classroom. Yes, and yes, the goal is to push all of them forward, but a lot of the students that are showing potential in certain areas, they're being held back by Baba Amin.
Right.
Do you want to speak a little bit about that?
I do. One of the big issues is that, like, for example, public school and a lot of charter schools, kind of come in with a cookie cutter mentality. This is our curriculum. This is what we're going to do. And then also we enslave ourselves to state standards. Right. And so we feel like even when we create our own schools, we're like measuring it by state standards. Well, the state says you got to be right here. But the state says you got to be right here. And so then we start saying things like, okay, well, that baby's behind. That baby's ahead. Right. And so we're laying the stigma on. We think we think that the self-esteem is low because the other kids are teasing them. The self-esteem is low because you said he was spared. You said that she was behind or she had a learning disability, right? So what we do, for example, with the Uhuru Academy, we don't use any of that. We threw the state standards in the trash because why hold to state standards with a country that's ranked 17th or 18th in the world among industrialized nations in education? So if we free, we can set our own standards.
That's right.
Right. And so we need to set our own standards. And when you set our standards culturally, these standards cannot just be based on what you do, reading, writing, and arithmetic. Right. These standards have to be about the whole person. What's your work ethic? About what's your character? Right. Right. On our report card, you get 4 grades in every class. You get a work ethic grade. What was your attitude towards the work? You gotta be real smart, but your attitude, you don't work on a team well. You don't want, you know what I'm saying? So what's your attitude towards work? Your participation, right? Are you raising your hand? Are you engaging in class discussion? Because you may understand it, but your classmate might not. And you talking about it might help them understand it. I'm not everybody's teacher.
Right.
Right. So then you got participation, right? And then so you got work ethic, you got participation. And what's my other one? It's not engagement, work ethic, participation, and it's a third one, and it's not coming to me right now, right? But it's work ethic, participation, and engagement, right? So engagement. How are you engaging with others around you, right? And so we have to regrade you in that. Like, are you asking questions? Are you just sitting there like, Like one thing we teach our children, you always have the power to ask questions. Life and scholarship and intelligence is not about having answers. It's about having questions, period. If you ask the right questions, you're going to get the right answers. Questions bring in knowledge, right? But what we educate our students to do, you have to know. So what do children do? We sit and we pretend like we know when we actually what? Don't know.
Don't know.
I'm
That's
not
right.
gonna raise my hand, because if I do, you're gonna say I'm gonna look dumb in front of everybody else. Well, we give our students extra credit for asking questions.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Right. And so that's the solution to that. Once you build that kind of environment, when you know you can get extra credit for saying, good job, Brother Tony. Man, that's good. You read your presentation like that. I grade for that. Like when my students present, I grade the audience just as hard as I grade the presenter.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So, Brother Mark, you might get an A on your presentation, but when somebody else presented, you turned your camera off, bro.
Yeah, I promise you, I was just.
Yo, that A done got knocked down. So you got an A in your presentation, but your engagement grade is a CH.
Oh,
We don't give
Wow.
listen.
We give CHs. I mean, that's a challenge.
Wow.
Right.
Challenge for you.
Wow.
Sister Cleveland find that extra fun.
No,
But yeah,
I promise you, I just said that to him. I promise you. I did. I promise you, I did. I just said it to him. And you,
yeah.
Baba, I mean, you have to get it out of my head. I promise you, I just said that to him.
Yeah.
I did. I said you get an F in participation.
So if we push those values early, it becomes habit. So now, like one of my semi complaints I get from my parents. Ooh, why does baby say Ashe to everything? Because we say Ashe all day long. So be it, make it so. You know. Yeah. And so they begin to internalize it. So when you come to Uhuru Academy, if one of my students say something, you're gonna hear another student say, "Good job, such and such," because they used to do it for the grade, but you do it so much for the grade, it becomes what?
Repetitious. Yeah, it becomes habit. Yeah.
Yeah. So now they in their house telling their little brother, "Good job, way to go."
Beautiful.
Mm.
Sister LaShawn has another question here. Let me go back to it. Oh dear Lord. 1 second. Okay. So she asked the question here. How do you hire the educators for your school? What is the application process?
Okay. Well, and we have a small team, you know, of teachers, but a large family throughout the country of allies and folks that come in and do workshops, that sort of thing. To work for the Uhuru Academy, the first thing you have to have is a commitment, not a career. I'm less concerned with your degrees. I'm more concerned with your passion for teaching. And you can teach, you can show me that with experience. You can show me that by saying, look, this is what I do even when I ain't got no job. That's kind of where my standard of commitment is would you do this if it was free? And are you good enough at it that we can pay you for it? Because that's a secret.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
So that's the first thing. And so it has to be a conversation. You know, we have to get to know you, what's going on. You know, people send us resumes and that sort of thing. And that's fine. You know, you can reach out to me on social media. That's fine. Because I'm going to go look for your social media anyway.
Right.
I'm just being upfront about that. You know,
course,
if you're talking about teaching at the school. And then that's what that is. You know, application process is really no job application you can fill out online. You have to get in touch with us and then we'll take it from there.
Beautiful.
Yeah, we'll take it from there. And then, you know, you got budgetary situations and things like that too. So, you know, gotta be able to afford you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, Baba, I mean, going back to our topic, and this is all related to our topic. When it comes down to the teaching of our children, some people are of the opinion that the subjects should be separated. You know, do you practice that model in the Uhuru Academy, the separation of the subjects?
We do and we don't, right? And yeah, we do, but we don't. And you know, if I can I got to grab something from my family right quick. Can I get 30 seconds?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right.
We can do a commercial break while you're.
All right.
Yes. So our commercial break is all roads lead to Detroit, Michigan on February the 19th through the 22nd. And we are going to be, look, we're taking over. We are taking over Detroit, the Nation of Islam, and all of our friends, guests, loved ones, family, as we always do. And we are always welcome there with open arms. So if you do not have anything to do, like anything to do, just take a flight and join us. Just come on.
Look, come and join us anyway. Clear your schedule and join.
Right, as Michael Jackson says, "Shamo, shamo." And
that's right, Sister Ebony. We are going to be in the D.
Yes, so I am so excited. I am so anticipating the workshops, the activities, look. Listen, let me tell y'all something. Every year, I cry through graduation. I just be crying. So if y'all see me, I try my best not to be on people's camera crying, but I'd be like a hot mess because our babies be graduating, and this is not babies like, you know, age appropriate babies. These are babies who have accepted the knowledge of themselves and want to strive to become one with Allah. These are people that want to be the best self of themselves, and they're graduating. So we have graduation, we have we're gonna have a line dancing. We back.
Plenary sessions,
Juma prayer, drill competition. So please, if you're not doing anything, if you are doing something, clear your schedule.
That's right. The walking Quran, sister.
That's right. That's right. So praises be to Allah. We will see you there. Happy
NOI.org, dear family.
Yes, NOI.org for more information. Thank you, sir.
Baba Amin, the subjects.
Yes.
You know, because now they in public schools they're talking about combining subjects, you know, cross-disciplinary, but we were doing that in ancient times.
Right.
And so you separate the subjects, but you at the same time you don't.
Right. Because you wanna tie as many core subjects together as possible, especially like taking subject matter across subjects. You know, you may be doing problem solving in math that and the word problems are directly related to what we're reading in English and language arts, right? And even in our vision development textbooks that we create, we have vision development ebooks. They'll have a vocabulary list of different careers. For example, it may be health careers in the health sciences. Right. And they'll have a vocabulary list. But with that vocabulary list, they're going to also have to do the old school, the sentences, write them in the sentences and define what they are. Right. And then there's going to be a math problem, some problem solving in there related to those groups. And then there's a reading passage that they have to read related to that. And then they have to put together a PowerPoint presentation on one particular career that stood out to them. So it's an interdisciplinary practice to get them to kind of internalize not only careers that are out there, but the skills that it takes to actually go after one, right? And also in science, I was presented with an issue one year, being very short-staffed, right? And I'm teaching my high schoolers, and I have all the high schoolers, 9th through 12th grade. Well, you can do that in 7th, 8th grade because it blends really well. 9th through 12th, well, you got to have physical science, biology, chemistry, and physics, right? And so I said, okay, I'm not going to teach all 4 of them classes to 4 different groups in one group. That's not about to happen, right? I said, well, what if I do this? I created a curriculum called Solutionary Science. And I said, what I'm going to do is we're going to take the issue, a topic, and put it in the center, and then look at the issue or the event from a physical science perspective, biology perspective, chemical perspective, and then a physics perspective. For example, one of the books I have is called Earthquakes. And in it, we're learning about the phenomena of earthquakes, what causes earthquakes. But let's look at the physical science aspect of the tectonic plates moving and that sort of thing. Now let's look at biology. How is wildlife impacted? How is life in the area of an
I
earthquake
like that.
by an earthquake, right? Then let's look at a chemical perspective. What chemical changes are taking place during an earthquake, you know? And then that physics, what are some of the changes over time and some of the force, you know, the laws of physics that can be applied to what's going on in an earthquake. And so now I'm like, boom, everybody getting the credit.
It becomes like
a earthquake, but we're
comprehensive
learning concepts from each discipline
Right.
around with the event in the center.
It's a comprehensive approach to
Exactly.
to science.
Exactly. Yeah. So you may lose some detail, right? You may lose some detail that you may get in the concentrated course, but you are coming away with basic understanding and key concepts when you do it that way. But as we expand that model, who knows where we can go with it?
Beautiful.
Praise be to Allah. Praise be to Allah.
Dr. Amin,
Yes.
man, this is great. And I was just thinking that there's a lot of wisdom, a lot of knowledge to be had when you talk about this type of subject. But when you think about many of our people's homes and the families that are listening, as difficult as it may be to narrow down on this question, but if you would indulge me, what do you think are some of the must-have books that every home should have in their little library at home? Like some books, like this is a book that needs to be in the house, to whether it's an older person or a younger person that they can put their hands on to refer to. In your opinion, what do you think some of those must-have books are?
If I was to give a book prescription in 2026, some classic books, of course, your spiritual text, right? I don't take for granted that we all have that. Your spiritual text, whether it's your Quran, whether it's your Bible, your Ifa text, have something there in your home.
Okay, very good.
Definitely that. Now, when it's talking about our story, I'm going to give one recommendation that a book I really love is The Community of Self by Dr. Naeem Akbar.
Yes.
Very powerful book. It's not a long read, but it also
reminds. That's funny. That's why I love it.
First, right?
It gets you right here.
Yeah, it hits you. So that introspection, right, is a great foundation. Look at you before you start studying everybody else, right? So I think that's a good place. That's an excellent place to start. Another great book is From the Browder File by Anthony T.
Yeah.
Yes.
And as a matter of fact, he just released a new version of another book, the third chapter to this book. And Dr. Maya got me a copy. She's gonna be mailing it to me. But anyway, but yeah, so From the Browder File is excellent because it talks about certain chapters in there that is really cool, like the politics of hair. Like that stood out to me. It's a chapter called The Politics of Hair, where he says you can kind of tell where Black people are politically by looking at how they wear their hair.
Wow.
That's actual fact.
You know what I'm saying? And the times where we were conked out and straight, we was dealing with Jim Crow and was kind of trying to assimilate to get by. Then the Black Power movement hit, and we got the afros, the braids,
revolutionary.
You know, the 80s hit. We got them Jerry curls, and here come crack cocaine. We stopped paying attention. Then hip hop rose up. You start seeing locks and things again. So
high top fade.
Books like that, yeah. And then you got a part in the book where he's breaking down the back of the dollar bill.
Yeah.
Right. And that was an introduction to a lot of people, like, oh wow, there's something else going on, right? You know, and so that's pretty cool. Another book that I would definitely recommend is the autobiography of Malcolm X.
Yes, sir.
And I recommend that because it's such a powerful story of transformation.
Absolutely.
Right. And a powerful example of what knowledge and wisdom can do, the power of it. Also an example of our humanness at the same time, right? And so the autobiography of Malcolm X was a game that I had to call my mama when I read that. I read it in college, and I was like, okay, it was like this back then. And she was like, no, it was worse where I live. And it was the first time she ever talked to me about what was going on in her childhood in Abilene, Texas in the 1940s, right? And so that's a powerful one to have as well. The Miseducation of the Negro by Dr. Carter G. Woodson is a very powerful book to read as well. I'm gonna throw this out there too. The message to the black man in America.
Well, you gotta have it.
You gotta have
It's a
it.
must have.
That's
It's
a
a
must
must have.
have in any black home. You don't gotta be a Muslim.
That's
Read it,
right.
right?
That's right.
Say
It's
what?
a message
I learned how to
to the
read the
black
Bible
man.
from Message to the Black Man.
There
Praise
you
be
go.
to
Yeah,
There
I
you
was
go.
I didn't really mess with the Bible as a youngster, but when I got a hold of Message to the Black Man, and that was the first time it felt like the most honorable Elijah Muhammad is sitting down and showing you now that's what that means right there.
That's right. That's
Right.
right.
Yes, sir.
Right. And so that's a good one, a great book to have. And if you have a Bible, there's an African Heritage Bible that you can order.
Yes.
In the African Heritage Bible, it shows the folk how they really look in the Bible, and even highlights where you're in Africa, highlights when you're dealing with people of African descent, that sort of thing. That's great, you know. But there are a lot of classic, great history books out there. Anything by Dr. John Henry Clark, I would recommend. Dr. Yosef Ben Yakinen's book, I would recommend. Sheikh Anta Diop, his book,
Yeah.
I would recommend.
Yes.
So Dr. Ivan Van Sertima.
Yeah.
I love that. One of my favorite books. Now, if you're gonna be classy and pro-black, you got to get you some J.A. Rogers in your life.
J. Rod.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Just
Now,
thinking
if
about
you
that
want to impress somebody pro-black walking in your house, have
Yeah.
some J.A. Rogers, Sex
J.A.
and Race,
Rogers.
Volume 1 and 2. And my favorite is From Superman to Man
Yes.
by J.A. Rogers. That's my
Yes,
personal. That's my favorite book. If I just had a book I could read over and over again, it would be From Superman to Man.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Thank you for that.
Thank you, brother.
Sister Kalila, there is a question
Yes.
by your husband.
Okay. Let's see.
Brother Sean. And Brother Sean says, greetings. I love your model. How do you train your teachers to accept a lot of questions? I ask because I've seen teachers exhibit impatience towards students after they have covered a topic.
I say. I train my teachers to allow for questions. Like there are different types of questions. Now, if a student is asking a question for understanding because they listen to you, but they still need more clarification, well, that's your job. And
Right.
as a teacher who enjoys teaching, you want questions, right? And
Yeah,
so-
because you want the engagement.
Right. And so I train my teacher. I'm saying that means you're doing a good job if they ask questions, because that means they want to know what you said. Sometimes a student will come in and my mind might be on my mama, who my mom and my auntie got into a fist fight last night. And so while you were talking, I'm reliving the fist fight. And I drifted off a little bit. But now I want to get caught up. What was that you just said? I was trying to focus, but I drifted off.
Gotta have
We all drift off, don't we?
right.
I know I do, right? And so I teach, with our teachers, it's patience. That's just another teachable moment. Now, if they goofing off, right, you hold them accountable,
Yeah.
right? You have discretion as a teacher. You can say,
Right.
I can stop everything and entertain you now, but I got to let you know, right? Okay, so now Vicky got to wait for stage 3 because I got to give you stage 1. I need you to look out for Vicky better than that. You're not hurting me. You're hurting your classmates, right? Because you're only as strong as the weakest link. So accountability. But then let me answer your question. Or, hey, you're going to wait. I'll get to you. I promise. But let me get to this point right here, and then I'll bring you back up. I got you. Right. And so that's how I train my teachers to do it. Patience comes with the territory as a teacher, right? And you can learn patience, but that's an internal job. I can't put it on your job description and you just do it. So as a teacher, you also have to have the wherewithal to say, you know what? Perhaps I can start meditating more. Perhaps I need to look at my own de-stressors, right? Because you deserve peace too, teacher.
That's right.
Huh.
You're a
That's
very
right.
important piece in this puzzle. Your health matters, right? And so you also have to ask yourself, why do questions bother me?
That is important.
Yeah. Why do I not want to repeat myself? You have to ask yourself that. Sometimes you just traumatized because your parents never let you ask nothing twice.
Man, shoot.
Maybe
Well,
you
I
was
mean-
brought up, or you had teachers.
Mhm.
You know, I already explained. I ain't explaining again.
Right.
So now you say I'm not explaining again. Well, okay. You know, ever
Like, okay. Like ever? Like
Ever? there's never a
Really?
situation or scenario where you can explain it again, right? Or plan out a time that you're gonna explain it again.
right.
All right, well, let me get everybody started because I'm gonna go back over the lesson again in a few minutes anyway. So there are ways that you can do it. So we try to empower our teachers to find alternative methods to dealing with that, but also holding our teachers accountable, right? We can't adjust the babies to your triggers.
Right.
We have to also go work on your triggers.
That's right.
It's true.
Here's another important question, Bubba. I mean,
Yes.
you were hitting on that. Am I burned out? Am I burned out? And what is causing the burnout?
I say, I feel that burnout comes, and I felt burnout before. You know, I felt burnout before, and it's usually an imbalance. Now I haven't felt burnout in teaching in the Uhuru Academy. I felt burnout with dealing with grown Black folk. Okay, dealing with adults, but with young people, I've been pretty steady. But burnout is an imbalance, and it usually comes when you redefine what you're doing. Right? Your definition of what you're doing is so important. And when you come into a thing, often you come into it seeing the beauty of it, just like a relationship. You come into it and you see the beauty. Oh, she's so pretty, and we laugh. We got so much in common, and boo, boo, boo. And then over time, if you're not constantly putting yourself in a space or staying in a space to where I'm going to preserve this definition. I know what this thing is at its purest. So when the challenges come, you deal with the challenges, but you refuse to let it harm your spirit. Right. And as soon as it gets in and it starts impacting our spirit, and we start redefining it, going from, oh man, I'm working at the Uhuru Academy to, oh, I gotta get up and go to work. Here we go. Here we go. When it starts feeling like that, then you have to ask yourself, how do I find the joy again?
Right.
How do I find the joy?
Find the joy again.
A lot of teachers leave the public school system so they can find the joy in teaching again.
Right.
And
I bear witness to that.
I say, right? Sometimes it's not the students. Sometimes it's not the family. Sometimes it's the red tape.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yes. And as Black people, that's especially vital for us because we deal with red and white tape.
Right.
Right? In other words, you already come in the door with an assimilation mindset. So we're taught to assimilate. Got to talk a little bit like them, walk a little bit like them. We have to code switch. So just keeping your mask on all day can be stressful.
Ooh, so tired of the mask. Oh Lord, geez.
Being a strong Black mate in a school system, right? And you know what you need to teach that young gentleman. But if you do it, you run a risk of losing your job. That can be stressful.
That's stressful.
That's very stressful. And watching our children fail will burn anybody out. Watching our children fail and not being able to do anything about it, that's Jim Crow. That'll burn anybody out.
It will.
You know?
That's stress and anxiety.
Yeah. So we have to, number one, create liberated spaces for each other and for ourselves as teachers, as educators. All these PhDs, we don't own a gang of schools.
Right. Let's talk about it.
All these master's degree. Well, what we gonna master? We supposed to be the master of something.
Right.
We're not mastering anything.
Right.
You know, any problem we have, I believe we can fix. What my now Ricky Clark always says, ain't nothing wrong with us that what's right with us can't fix. Our issue is that we don't focus enough on what's right with us. You can go viral talking about what's wrong with us
all day.
And so that's what we do. I see it in my post. When I make a post talking about how uplifting and these students are powerful, Black people are beautiful, beautiful. I get a few likes, But let me come
Right.
in and
That's
say,
all you're gonna get is a fruit
yeah,
tree
yeah,
like.
but let me come and say, "Ooh, I can't stand black folks. Black folks just ain't ready for nothing."
A lot of amens.
Right.
And look,
Amen.
look,
Corner like this.
and then they're
But-
gonna share it.
Right. Right. You don't share it.
Ready.
Here's
I
another
was mad. I
thing.
shouldn't even been on social media that night.
Right.
That's what happened.
You'll go viral.
But that goes back to the burned out
Mhm.
teacher, Baba. I mean, what is it, man? None of them, are, they're not listening.
Mhm.
None of them. It might
None
be
of them.
like one or two that may
Mhm.
be causing the problem. Now it becomes
Yeah.
all of them.
Mhm. Right.
No.
Well, Yeah, and because when you get tired, that one or two begins to dictate the culture in the classroom.
Come on.
Once they start dictating the culture in the classroom, even those who are trying to learn now, they're disrupted. And some of them are going to adapt like humans do and just fit in with the culture of the classroom. You let him call you ugly, I'm gonna call you ugly.
Right. Twice.
You know, he don't do his work. You give him all kind of attention. Everybody laughing. Well, I ain't gonna do my work, so I get
Right.
all kind of attention and everybody laugh. But if you come in and you pour into your love bank early,
Come
Mm.
on.
what's up, young king? What's up, young queen? If she drop a pencil, he pick it up. Man, I knew you was a leader. Look at this brother looking out for the sister picked up that pencil.
Right.
I tell my teachers, be on the lookout for all small victories.
Tell
Put
it.
it on them. Put them out. Make them know, man, I look so favorably upon you. Like you just a great
Right.
student. And he coming, I know I'm not a great student, but man, maybe he right.
Mm.
Love
He's
is much.
adamant that I am. But
Baba,
what I
mean,
do when I do that,
right.
I find myself controlling the narrative and
Right.
protecting myself from burnout because I'm living my story in the classroom.
Mm.
See, like the narrative is dictated by love.
Right.
Love is more powerful than any kind of hate
That's right.
or hating taking
Yes, it is.
place.
Mm-hmm. I say.
Much more
And you
powerful.
have to love our children in order to teach them. And if you find yourself not loving our children, you have to look in the mirror because that means you don't love self.
That's right.
That's a self issue. That's not them bad kids ain't making you not like them.
Right.
You brought that with you, right? Or you allowed your perception of them to be skewed. Right? So no, you as a teacher, you guard against that by controlling your narrative. Understand that you're a farmer, right? And that your job is to till the soil, plant the seeds, water the seeds, keep track of the sunlight, make sure the environment is conducive for the seed to sprout, but you don't control the seed.
Hating gonna make those plants grow.
It ain't. Only nurturing and loving the environment, expressing your love for them by nurturing the environment and protecting the environment, then you let the seed, you let that germ that God put in the seed, it'll do its work when it's time.
That's right.
Or some seeds ain't gonna sprout. Leave them in the ground. They may sprout next season.
That's right.
But you just fall in love with tilling the soil. You fall in love with the process. And don't and you know what I'm saying? Just trust the process. And man, when that baby walk up to you in Walmart and say, man, you said something in class one day that changed my life.
Teach.
That's gonna feel better than any paycheck they ever gave you.
For real.
Bob, I mean, you know when I experienced those? Not that same year with that one child or those two children were just like just cutting up. Like 3, 4, 5, 10 years later, they see you.
Yeah.
And I never forgot what you said. Even though they cut up the way that they did.
Now, translate that into preserving our history. When we teach them our story consistently, they never forget what you say.
You're right.
With you. In Butler housing, we had brothers and sisters that were street and gang involved. Some went on to go to college and break the cycle of poverty in their families. Some stayed in the streets. But I was noticing a weird phenomenon by the ones who were still in the streets, right? For example, there was one brother, he became an OG in the gang and all that. He met his wife in rites of passage in our program. You know, they got married and stayed married for 35 years. They still married. And he always took care of his children. And it's like, I'm still a thug, but the black family is important. I'm like, okay, well, you got part of it.
Right. We'll
Right.
get you. Yeah.
You took some of it, right? You took some of it and you good to your children. Now his children went on to graduate and do what they had to do, right? But just trusting the process, right? Of course, you're gonna have your success stories of people that do this, but when you down here, getting here is great,
Mm.
right? Getting here is progress, and so now we build on top of that. So
You know, I want to talk about influence,
mhm.
and I want to ask this question in regards to influence.
All right.
What would you advise a high school student? We're talking about 9th grade to
Mhm.
12th grade,
All right.
who is in the process or about to graduate, but does not have any plans after graduation?
Well, my advice, number one, it's never too late to start your plan.
Okay.
So let's first is reassurance, right? It's okay. I know some 50-year-olds ain't got no plan. They still eating though. They just ain't
Right.
got no plan, right? So you're gonna be fine if your core values are in place. Then you're going to be fine. If your core values, if you treat others like you want to be treated, if you
Mhm.
care about the world around you, and that's the foundation, right? Right. So that'll be the first thing in the conversation, right? Let you know that everything you need has already been poured into you. We're just
Mhm.
trying to figure out how you're going to manifest that out into the world, right?
Okay.
Then my advice would be, let's get on it. What do you want to do? What do you think you want to do? How do you become that? You don't know? Y'all got something my generation ain't never had. Devices that'll tell you just about anything that you want to know.
Exactly.
That's
Step by
right.
step.
Right. Like YouTube is a university.
Right. It
Right.
is
And
technically.
I'm not down with Google at all, but there's information on there. But so the thing is, let's look at that. Where do you spend
Right.
your time? Right. A lot of times when I talk to young people nowadays, it's dealing with the challenge of being a consumer,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
Because
Mhm.
they're consuming content constantly. Where if you're constantly consuming content, you're not creating your own content in your life.
Right.
You're not
Yes.
living, you're not thinking about you. You're watching
Right.
somebody else live their life. You're
Mhm.
not thinking about your life, right?
That's right.
So
That's
a
right.
healthy social media diet,
Mm.
right?
I like
And,
that.
and
I
if that
like
means
that.
putting it on a schedule, do that. If that means taking a break from it, but you ask them questions. You don't tell them you watch too much social media. How much social media do you watch?
Right.
How much time do you spend on that? Do you think that kind of takes away from you developing your plan, or are you getting a plan
Mm.
there? Tell me what you're getting from there, right?
Right.
And then listen, right? And then you go on from there, but you base everything you say to a young person off an answer that they gave you. Go in being a listener, not a preacher. See, that social
Right.
media killing y'all brains. Okay, now my brain dead. Okay.
Right. Right.
I'm not gonna tell you I want to be a doctor.
Right. Right. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So that's what I would do, you know what I'm saying? And just kind of let them, just like a psychologist would, kind of let them guide themselves to the answers.
Mm.
You
Beautiful.
know,
Beautiful.
by
Beautiful.
asking questions. You lay on the psychologist couch, say, how does that make you feel?
Right. There you
Right.
go.
And we have that same approach with our young people. How does that make you feel? What do you think you could do better? Well,
Mm.
I might do this and this. And if it ain't enough, you say, okay, you think you can add on such? Yeah, that makes sense. You know, when you gonna start? Because I believe in you. When you gonna,
Right. There you go.
not you ain't gonna do nothing. Yeah, I believe it when I see it. I'm gonna tell y'all, reverse psychology don't work on people with low self-esteem.
It doesn't. Listen,
No, it take it
I'm
literal.
telling you.
Yeah.
That's see, you talk about our era
Right.
when that used to work for us.
Yeah.
Now
It don't work.
this
I'm
generation right here,
No, it's not.
oh,
No.
they don't care. You
What
can go and
say
tell them.
yeah,
No.
yeah.
You go
What
and
you
tell them
What you mean? They'll get mad. Like, what do you mean?
they'll
no,
get mad. They'll be, oh, so you saying I can't do nothing?
right? Or they just don't care. Like I
Uh-huh.
mean, you can just straight embarrass
Yeah,
this generation 9. They just really don't. They'll think it's funny. They were like,
Right.
Like,
Well, that's a defense mechanism, right?
Right.
Yeah,
right.
We had it too. We just didn't have as many devices and distractions and ways to get away from. We had to deal more because we were more face to face because of technology, right? But I know when my mom used to talk to me, she knew I was listening when I acted like I wasn't listening.
Right.
And when I was going, yes, ma'am, too quick, she's like, yeah, you ain't listening
You
to
ain't
me.
listening. That
You
went
yes,
right over your
ma'am,
head.
too
Right.
fast. Tell me what I just said. Huh?
Right.
Right. And so what we have to do is be consistent, but we have to do it, be consistently, bring it consistently from a place of love. And I don't have no problem telling a young person, look, everybody don't make it.
Yep.
Life is a math problem. And what you put in your equation determines the outcome.
That's right.
At the end of the day, no matter how much I love you, I can't control your equation. I can control the process. You control the results.
That's right. That's right.
And so you can choose to be in the streets. Just know what come with that. I'm gonna always love you. But if you're gonna do it all the way.
Do it all the way. Don't do it halfway.
But understand what comes with that. And that's just what it is.
Right.
You know, if you want to go here, this is what you gotta do. Period. So what you gotta ask yourself is this what I really want to do? And so giving the power back to them, that's the key.
Brother Baba, Dr. Amin. Whereas we're winding down, this is going to be our last question tonight, my brother. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, in the book A Torchlight for America, has a section on education and its importance. He teaches us that mastery of self is the key to the mastery of all disciplines, because in some way every discipline is present within ourselves. And you mentioned that earlier when you were speaking about mathematics. In your experience in education, how important is it to cultivate and maintain this approach in the education of young people?
To educate, it means to draw out, right? That which is already there, right? And so your goal as an educator, and what's so important, particularly with our children, our people, and it's true, we have to see the divinity in our children, right? And we have to teach them that their divinity. We have to show them their divinity, okay? And let them understand that you're bigger than the definition that you think that you are. And so the foundation of African-centered education, or the foundation of education, period, if it's in a Muhammad school of Islam, your knowledge of self is the key. Education should answer the question, who am I? That's the foundational question. You should come away from school every day learning a little bit more about you, whether that's through learning our history, but also paying attention to your own efforts, paying attention to your own shortcomings, paying attention to your own strengths, right? And looking at that and learning more and more about yourself. I went out for the track team, and I had no idea I could run a mile like that. I just learned something about me. Miss such and such went out when she got smart with me again today. I didn't get smart back. I held it to myself. I told her where she can go last time. I didn't like that I was third party. This time I let her make it. I did good today. I learned something about myself.
Right.
Every day you wake up. And that's why we encourage our children, our youth, and our people. Get out here and live some life so you can learn about who?
Yourself.
You. But if you walk around saying things like, and these are some of the things we got to take, that some of the diseases that are inside of our culture, right? One of the diseases is the just disease. That's just me disease.
Ooh, I know a lot of just me's.
Yeah, you know, and when you in a situation where it requires a little bit more nuance, and you don't use the nuance, you cuss somebody out, and they say, well, why didn't you just, be cool? I cussed them out. That's just me. That's just who I am. So
And
you're saying
and you ain't just
I can't
growing.
evolve beyond this.
You want everybody to adjust to you.
You want everyone to adjust to you, right? And so even when someone recommends an adjustment that helps you, that will get you where you say you want to go, if you have that's just me disease, you won't move. A lot of our children, I don't do math. That's just me. I hate math. That's just me. That's just who I am. Right? Just means that's it. Right. But just is supposed to mean balance. Just is justice. It's freedom. Right. So you're not being just when you say that's just you.
Right.
You're actually being unjust.
Right.
When you're not trying to reach your full potential.
Yes.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, brother Baba Amin, do you have any closing remarks?
I would like to just number one say thank you. I want to praise the creator for having me.
Thank you.
And thank y'all for having me here tonight. I've enjoyed it. Y'all gave me a box to stand on the corner of 135th Street in Harlem. And I appreciate that. I do want to shout out my beautiful wife in Koyo and my children for allowing me to take time out that's their time.
Thank you.
To come out and educate the people. I love that. I love them. And I want to shout out to the whole Uhuru Academy family, all our parents, all of our supporters. And you can support the Uhuru Academy. You can go to uhuruacademy.com. You can go to uhuruacademy.org. You can cash out $ Uhuru Academy. Just know that everything that you give to us is going towards educating our children. I want to shout out UASC International here in Hopkins, South Carolina. The UACI STEM Camp and Dr. Oya Mayat. We do have a STEM camp coming, hopefully spring break. So go to uacistemcamp.com and check out what we have going on with that beautiful virtual experience. Juneteenth, y'all ain't doing nothing. June 20th, 2026. I want to shout out to the whole team. I'm a board president for the South Carolina Juneteenth Freedom Fest. We're one of the biggest Juneteenth celebrations in the state of South Carolina. We're going to be at Finley Park this year. We're going to have a youth empowerment zone where we're going to have a stage just for the youth. We're going to have our youth leadership awards, Uhuru Academy graduation. We're going to have youth entrepreneurship vendors lined up in the whole 9 yards. So I want to shout out to the team and definitely tell everybody about that. Then other than that, hey, you want somebody to come in and spread love and talk about Black people? Get with Baba Amin. I'm ready.
Praise be to Allah. Well, I did leave your information, some of your information in the chat for the, people to actually contact you in regards to what and then that mystery number did appear back on the last part of your phone number. So voila, 4 is
the big reveal.
It's the big reveal.
Yeah, to hold out to the end.
I said I've had fun. And again, I appreciate y'all having me here. Black people, my people, love yourself. Ain't nothing wrong with us. That what's right with us can't fix. And we can build anything we want to build for our children. We have to ask ourselves, how bad do we want it? We're complaining about it. Let's do something about it. Stop waiting on the government. Stop waiting on Republicans. Stop waiting on Democrats. None of that. No. I don't care if you push a broom. You can help build a school.
That's right.
I don't care if you ain't got no job. Give yourself one in the morning. That's
right.
Your job is to clean yourself up, get yourself right, and get out here and be a light in our community.
Right.
That's right. We can't be stopped. God already said it. What y'all worried about? Let's walk in.
Exactly. We got the blueprint. We got to walk therein.
Do your part.
All right. And with that being said, doing your part.
Beloved family, we need your support. And, this program is about saving lives, but, the streaming service that we use, they don't tell us, oh, you're so nice. You're about saving lives. We pay bills just like everybody else. You can make your contribution to $ 7th Region Coalition 29 here through the Cash App. We thank you. We thank you for whatever you're able to donate. It does not have to be a large amount, although we will not refuse a large amount. We thank you. We thank you. We thank you for your support, for your contribution. We thank you for every share, for every copy and paste of the URL and sending it to all your friends and family members. Please continue to do that. Thank you so much, dear family. We very much appreciate every little help counts. Thank you so much. May Allah God continue to bless you all and your families.
All right. And Brother Tony, you can close us out.
So, beloved family, please be sure to stay tuned. Next week, same time, same YouTube channel, same Facebook page. Come and join us. May Allah continue to bless you all and your families. Stay tuned to the 7th Region Coalition to help save lives. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Happy Savior's Day.
Happy Savior's Day.